Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Kind of trying to start up a little channel here, copying off of a few guys I've seen. Onelonleyfarmer, How Farms Work, Farmer John 9660, George Saunders over there in England. Kinda really got into YouTube as far as seeing how farming works in other parts of the world. Figured I'd do a little video here and see if I could get a channel started. One thing I noticed on everybody's channel, I always have to like watch a bunch of videos to figure out like where exactly they're at in the world or country, whatever have you, and do a little Facebook stalking just to figure out who they are. Yeah, I do some Facebook stalking, but yeah, anyways, my name's Russell Goose. I run Double R Goose Farms and Gooseberries located in Wanata, Indiana. That's northwestern Indiana, a couple hours outside of Chicago. Yeah, I'm just baling a little hay here. On my operation, I'm really kind of a small farmer. Well, I was, kind of still am for my geographical area. My background is I grew up with a handicapped father. He was a farmer. He farmed with his brother. Long story short, family farms, they didn't get along. They split up. I believe it was in '89. I was a young pup. I'm 33 now. I was, like 6 years old at the time. But anyways, long story short, went to work for a local farmer that my dad had farmed what ground was his. And yeah, so that's my background and childhood. I mean, I'm sure I'll talk more about it in the future. Not to make this too long-winded, but I am, because I can, because you're still watching. But anyways, so turned 14 years old. My dad had a stroke. He was wheelchair bound from a car accident way before I was born. That's a long story. My mom was a school teacher. But anyways, basically I grew up with a stay-at-home dad. Really close with him. He left me about 3 years ago, unfortunately. But yeah, grew up on the farm. Being his legs is what he always called me. So I started doing a lot of things I probably shouldn't have at a very young age. But yeah, that brings me up to now. So anyways, now on my farm, I raise strawberries, corn, bean, wheat, alfalfa, and various other hays. Let's see, corn, beans, wheat, strawberries, cattle, obviously. I got about 25-30 head of beef cattle, given, brood cows, and then do cow to calf finish. I'm kind of in cahoots with that with one of my neighbors. And then I also farm the row crops, kind of in cahoots with my cousin and that same neighbor. Long and the short of it is, kind of went together, and rather than each of us farming little pieces, we could play with a little bigger equipment when we went together. So all total, between the three of us, we're going across about 1,200 acres of row crops. And then, like I said, I'm baling hay right now. I do quite a bit of custom haymaking for a local dairy farm, as well as my own, obviously. It's a good time to be in the custom farming because of the current commodity prices. I get a paycheck one way or the other. I guess is one way to look at it, but yeah. So anyways, it's just me trying to eke out my way in this little farming world, because I always say I started with 2 cows, 40 acres, and a dream when I was 14, and pretty happy with what I've been blessed with so far. I got 2 young boys. Actually, my oldest son is 4. His name is Dean. He's normally with me right now, or normally with me, but his mom hasn't dropped him off yet. We just got off of school, as we call it. I also work in a 40-hour-a-week job at the local utility company, which kind of cuts into my farming time. But yeah, I just figured I could, show a little bit of my farming operation. I'm kind of geographically in the center of all the other guys I mentioned, except for George Saunders, obviously. show a little bit of my farming operation through the cattle, the strawberries. I also custom feed bucket dairy calves. A whole bunch of stuff goes on here. And when I'm not farming, I'm a pilot as well. Actually, for all the pilot guys out there, I'm packing 250 hours and getting ready for my commercial check ride. So that's kind of who I am. Thanks for watching. Hope I touched on everything. Hope it wasn't too boring, but like I said, just kind of wanted to give some background to who I am, so if you continue watching my videos, you kind of know where I'm coming from. Hey, thank you. Have a beautiful day.